Would the graduates please turn and face the platform? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Spring Convocation 2015. Would you please join our vocalist, Katya Hartova, in the singing of O Canada, and then please remain standing for the invocation.
Good morning and peace be with all of you. I offer today's invocation in recognition of the many paths through which our students, faculty, staff, and guests find meaning in life. Whether we understand this to be in the mystery of a God, in the beauty of nature, in the elegance of science or art, in acts of service to and seeking justice for all people, or in the critical and transformative inquiry at the heart of our educational enterprise, I invite you to open your hearts with me this day. Source of life, known in infinite ways, we seek and we find the presence of the sacred in this gathering, reflected in the experiences of the class of 2015, echoed in the names of each graduate as they step across the platform, resident in the words of wisdom that will be shared by our speakers and honored guests. Even as we experience wonder and joy in the gifts that are shared this morning, we know that our work is not yet done. May these graduates, and may all of us, see this not only as the culmination of a remarkable experience, but may this day be an invitation to move forward in life, to continue the work of repairing the world, of living into the gifts of knowledge we receive, not for our own sake, but for the sake of justice and care for all humanity. Amen.
Please be seated. Once again, graduates and distinguished guests, welcome. I am Elizabeth Williamson. I'm the University Secretary, and I have the honor of introducing to you the members of the platform party that you see before you. So beginning with the front row, on my left and your right, Russell Eisinger, Registrar and Director of Student Services. Patty McDougall, Vice Provost, Teaching and Learning. Karen Chad, Vice President, Research. Leona Tatusis, Elder, Poundmaker First Nation. Brett Trost, recipient of this morning's Governor General's Gold Medal. The Honorable Scott Moe, Minister of Advanced Education. Ernie Barber, Provost and Vice President, Academic. President Gordon Barnhart. Chancellor Blaine Fable. Deborah Chatzis, recipient of this morning's Honorary Doctor of Laws degree. Peter Stoichev, Dean, College of Arts and Science. Nazim Muhajareen, Executive Director, School of Public Health. Beth Bilson, Dean, College of Law. Adam Baxter Jones, Dean, College of Graduate Studies and Research. In our second row, members of our Board of Governors, Linda Ferguson, Grit McCreath, and Joy Crawford. Jack Saddleback, also a member of our board and President, University of Saskatchewan Students' Union. Natalia Terakova, Vice President, External, Graduate Students Association. Nadia Prokopchuk, Senator. Jim Pulfer, Senator. Peter Stroh, Past President, Alumni Association. Yvonne Shevchuk, Associate Dean Academic, College of Pharmacy and Nutrition. Gordon Debreze, Associate Dean of Student Affairs, College of Arts and Science. Peta Bonham-Smith, Vice Dean of Science, College of Arts and Science. Lawrence Martz, Vice Dean, Social Sciences, College of Arts and Science. George Maturi, Assistant Executive Director, School of Public Health. In our third row, we have our 4 university orators, Wendy Klingenberg, Adil Salman, Lee Pennick, and Richard Devon. Judith Henderson, University of Saskatchewan Retirees Association. Terence Downey, President, St. Thomas More College. Daryl McLaughlin, Associate Dean, St. Thomas More College. Carl Still, Dean, St. Thomas More College. And Father Andre Lelac, one of our chaplains. And behind them, and I would ask them to stand, members of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan. Would you please join me? We express our thanks and appreciation to these faculty, administration, and members of our governing bodies for the work they have done by supporting, teaching, and encouraging our graduates. We now acknowledge the traditional territory of Treaty 6, on which we have gathered for this event. Please stand as you are able for the honor song. There is no applause following the honor song. Please be seated.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you Deborah Chatzis. I too would like to acknowledge our presence on traditional Treaty 6 territory and the home of the Métis Nation. Deborah Chatzis is a graduate of the Colleges of Engineering and Law at the University of Saskatchewan and has graduate degrees from the University of Ottawa and Harvard University. After completing her law degree and a clerkship with the Appeal Division of the Federal Court of Canada, she joined the Foreign Service of the Government of Canada in 1989. In her work with the Department of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Development, she has represented Canada at the United Nations, playing a key role in negotiations and consultations on important human rights issues, including the establishment of the International Criminal Court, preparation for Canadian participation in the Third World Conference Against Racism, negotiation of the Protocol on Children in Armed Conflict and the Ottawa Landmines Convention, and the founding of the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. She was seconded to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission as a senior advisor in 2007 and subsequently served as a senior advisor to the Privy Council Office on the development of social policy on Aboriginal issues. In 2010, she was appointed as Canada's ambassador to Vietnam, and she is currently director of South Asia Relations in the department. One of her longtime colleagues notes that not only has she demonstrated an aptitude for negotiating on sensitive issues, but that she has an excellent ability to partner to meet not only Canadian, but international objectives. It is difficult to imagine that when Ms. Chatzis was sitting in her first-year class in contract law at the University of Saskatchewan, she envisioned herself as an ambassador and a key player on the international stage, or thought that her professors would one day have to address her as Your Excellency. She has shown herself to be conscious that it is a big step from Prince Albert to the United Nations. Throughout her career, she has sought opportunities to encourage high school and university students to extend the reach of their career plans. A member of the Atakakuk First Nation, Ms. Chatzis has been described by one of her nominators as a mentor and role model for Aboriginal youth. The University of Saskatchewan and the College of Law can take justifiable pride in the accomplishments of this distinguished graduate, an excellent ambassador, not only for Canada, but for this province and this university. Eminent Chancellor, I present Deborah Chatzis and ask that you confer on her the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Ms. Chatzis, it is my great pleasure to say the following words. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of the province, and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Good morning, everybody. Chancellor Favreau, President Barnhart, students, families. I am humbled and immensely grateful for this award. I can only hope that I can continue to hold the confidence of this university, which has played such a defining role in my life and my career. I certainly never would have expected this honor all those years ago, as Professor Belson noted, when I was seated at my chair at Convocation, the proud recipient of 2 degrees, but no clear plans other than a plane ticket in my hand. After finishing my studies, I backpacked across Europe and studied French in Quebec before starting work. However, my trips in Canada and in Europe gave me a taste for exploring more countries and cultures, so I wrote the Foreign Service exam and joined the Foreign Service in 1989. And it's been a great career so far. I've learned from all of my jobs and colleagues and had great experiences in the countries where I've worked and visited. I've had the very unique opportunity to personally represent Canada abroad as our ambassador to Vietnam. Over the years, as mentioned, I've worked in a variety of different countries, from Afghanistan to New York, Geneva, Colombia. It's not all been work, though. In my downtime, I've been able to hike the Great Wall, travel to the Galapagos Islands and Machu Picchu, floated down the Nile, visited the pyramids, and traveled in Burma and Cambodia. Looking at my situation with the benefit of age and experience, I can see that I'm an improbable success in the diplomatic world, an Aboriginal woman from Prince Albert. In my youth, things could have easily gone off track, and I could have ended up as one of the horrific stories that we hear about in the news all too often. Like many Aboriginals, my family was directly affected by the Indian residential school experience and social challenges such as poverty, alcoholism, and discrimination. Adding to this, as a result of banned politics and provisions of the Indian Act, which have since been changed, I was a non-status Indian until my 20s, neither Indian enough for some nor white enough for others. I grew up at a time when racism and bullying was more overt, and believe me, I felt it. Sometimes it was even well-intentioned, such as when my friends in school told me I wasn't really an Indian because, of course, my family and I didn't meet their expectations. Why did I succeed where others have failed? Why did I not succumb to addictions and other life challenges? The answer is clear. It is because of my parents, Donald Chatsis and Noreen Hennekew, who offered unconditional love and support even when I was at my most trying. They stressed the value of education to me and my siblings and modeled persistence. My mother left high school after grade 10, but eventually finished her education later in life. She completed her high school equivalency while in her 40s and studied social work at the University of Regina. She had an incredibly enriching career as a social worker, supporting families facing difficult times at the Royal University Hospital and later at Sturgeon Lake First Nation until her retirement. My father, Donald Chatsis, and his sister Lucy Favel were orphaned at a young age and raised by aunts and uncles on Palmaker First Nation. They went to residential school in Delmas for many years, not far from Palmaker. They were fortunate as their families were able to visit occasionally. My father left school after grade 8. He was bright, and the priest wanted him to continue his studies, but that meant training for the priesthood. My siblings and I are pleased that he made that decision. As a young man, my father worked as a laborer before joining the Army in the Engineering Corps, where he trained as a heavy equipment operator. He concluded his working life as a foreman at a uranium mine up north. In spite of the experiences of residential school, my father always stressed the value of education and remained a devout Catholic. Thanks to their subtle brainwashing, their work ethic, and their desire for their children to have a better life, I knew from a very young age that I would go to university. Thanks to them, I was able to finish university with 2 degrees and a very small student loan. They didn't even blink when I wanted to travel to Europe or study French in Quebec instead of starting work right away. In case you think I'm an exception, I would like to tell you about 2 of my family members who inspire me. My great-grandfather's brother, Canyon Edward Hennekew, was the first of our family to go to the University of Saskatchewan, where he graduated from Emmanuel College in 1911. He was one of the first Aboriginals to study at this university, from which he received an honorary doctorate in 1947. My aunt, Frida Henneque, was married before she finished high school, moved to a farm on Muskeg First Nation, and raised 12 children. In her early 40s, she decided to finish high school and took the school bus into town with her children. Her marriage broke up, but she continued her education, graduating with a Bachelor of Education from this university and a Master of Arts from the University of Manitoba. She received numerous honors and awards for her work on Cree linguistics, including a National Aboriginal Achievement Award, the Order of Canada, and honorary degrees from the University of Saskatchewan in 1997 and the University of Manitoba. Given her accomplishments in life, I am humbled today to be receiving the same honor she did. I am so proud of the amazing members of my family who are making a difference, be it in pharmacy, education, nursing, cancer advocacy, the trades, building businesses, and raising families. This very positive change in educational outcomes and skills training is also taking place in other families and communities, which is reflected in the audience today by the presence of so many Aboriginal graduates. We have a young, educated, able population ready to take on the challenges of the future. This is something of real value to our community and families, to the province, and to the country. Our diversity is our strength. To those of you who are graduating today, I offer you my sincerest congratulations on your remarkable achievements. You are probably wondering what will happen in your life, whether you will get a job you love, and whether your plans will unfold as they should. For me, my life has not ended up where I expected, but I've had a rewarding career and life experiences that I never would have imagined 30 years ago. With that in mind, I offer a few pieces of advice which I hope you can use during your own life journey. First, be proud of who you are and where you come from. This is something my father used to say to us, which I really only understood the value of as I grew older. I've come to appreciate the fact that I came from a family of modest means, and that my parents sacrificed so that my siblings and I were able to go to university. I've come to appreciate the strength that comes from my family and my Cree culture. I've also come to appreciate how my experiences of being both an insider and an outsider have helped me understand a bit about the world and people. These experiences have made me who I am and given me strength. I'm a product of my family, of this university, and this province. Being from Saskatchewan gives us all strength. As I tell everybody in other provinces, if you can survive a Saskatchewan winter, you can survive anything. Number 2, take a risk and learn from failure. It's a tough lesson, but you need to accept failure as a part of the learning process. Who knows where my life would have been, where my life would have taken me if I had got the jobs I applied for when I was graduating from university. Probably a completely different career path. Equally, if I had been successful in a job competition in 2004, I would not have applied to go to Harvard. My point is that sometimes you have to put yourself out there if you want something. If it doesn't work out, don't give up, but reassess. Don't worry if you don't know what you want to do with your life right now. Life happens, your views change, and new opportunities appear. And things will work out, even if it's not the way you think it will right now. Make a difference in this world. A number of years ago, as I was visiting my mother on a Takakoup, when I was sitting in the car waiting for my niece who was in the band office, and a woman walked by, and I was struck by how rough she looked. Clearly, she didn't have an easy life. It hit me then how privileged I had been, with parents who loved and supported me, having gone to good schools, and being given great opportunities. These were the things I had taken for granted. It was a very pointed reminder that not everyone has these opportunities, and that there are some real inequities in the world, in our country, and in our communities. There are many, many challenges in our world right now. Racism and inequity, environmental issues, economic problems, etc. We can't take them all on, but we can do our part, individually or in community. With your education, you have much to contribute. Take the opportunity to get involved and make a difference. With that, I once again offer congratulations to those who will be receiving their degrees today. Remember that today is not the finish line, but the start of an exciting new chapter of your life. Thank you and good luck.
Eminent Chancellor and platform guests, Minister Moe, I want to make mention that this is the second ceremony in a row that Minister Moe has been at, and we very much appreciate that, sir. I think that's a sign that he's very interested in his new portfolio, advanced education, and supporter of the University of Saskatchewan, and we thank you very much for that. And ladies and gentlemen, graduates, welcome. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you today. My name is Gordon Barnhart. I'm the Interim President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan. I love Convocation. It is a great celebration. It's a chance to be with young people and older people, and even people my age, to celebrate your achievements. You have earned this. And today we're celebrating with the College of Arts and Science, the Centre for Continuing and Distance Education, and the School of Public Health. I want you to think back for a moment to your first day on campus. Some of the experiences that you must have had, it's kind of scary, isn't it, when you first start and you wonder, where's my next class, and where's this building, and where does this tunnel lead to, and all of those sorts of things. Can I pass that first exam? Those essays are always on my shoulder. But you know what? That's all behind you now because you're graduating. And this is now going to be, I hope, a happy memory for you of your time at the University of Saskatchewan. And as you receive this parchment, I hope that you will treasure it knowing that it's a sign of your achievement, its accomplishment, a sign of all of those thousands of hours that you put in studying in labs or writing papers, writing exams. And I think that we hope, done the best we can to prepare you for the challenges ahead so that you will succeed. Deborah, you gave us some very good advice this morning. I like what you had to say in terms of the advice to students, that the challenges ahead, you don't know what they're going to be, but I'm sure that you will do well. And so this degree from the University of Saskatchewan will remind you that you earned this, that first step you took onto campus, right through to the final steps that you take across the stage. Celebrate, breathe it in, enjoy, celebrate with your family and your friends. And then when the excitement settles in, then you start to ask the question, well, so what's next? And I certainly don't know what it will be for each of you, but I do know that you will likely be pursuing more education at some point. As was said, this isn't the end, but it's the beginning. And you say, oh no, not another class, not another exam. But you know what? No matter what you do, whether you go on for further study or you take on a career, you will be learning new things, meeting new people, experiencing new things in life. And so it'll be a unique journey full of opportunities, challenges, and decisions. And so I think your time at the University of Saskatchewan will have prepared you well to meet those challenges, grab onto those prospects, grab onto those opportunities, and live life to the fullest. Counting this convocation this spring, we will have over 145,000 alumni all around the world. And our graduates really are quite an astonishing list of people who have taken on the challenge of life and have succeeded in various different things all around the world. These are extraordinary people, the alumni of the University of Saskatchewan, and as of today, you join that group. You join that club, the Alumni of Saskatchewan. And that alumni is a very special group because they have unwavering support. And I know that when I travel across this country and I meet with alumni, and they love the University of Saskatchewan, and they remember their experiences here and how it got them on their start. And I was in China last fall, and that was the same thing. One woman traveled 4 hours to come to Beijing. 2 others had flown 3 hours. And I thought, isn't this amazing that they had something else on at the same time? And they said, no, we have come because we love the University of Saskatchewan. And so I hope that you will remember the university as well. And the generosity of the alumni and our donors, many of whom are here today, have helped to create scholarships, financial aid to help enrich the university experience. Perhaps some of you have received some of that aid or scholarship. And so you will be joining soon that alumni rank, and you will find ways, I'm sure, I hope, to stay in touch with your alma mater. And perhaps, once you're established, you yourself will create a scholarship or help in some way, help the students that are following you. And so the graduates of the College of Arts and Science, Center for Continuing and Distance Education, School of Public Health, you have great reason to be proud of your accomplishment and proud of this university. And I can't draw attention to every achievement that all of you have done, but I want to single out just a couple. One research story from the College of Arts and Science received attention around the world in many of the countries. Sarah Sangster and Lindsay Williamson, PhD students in the Applied Social Psychology program, in their research, they wanted to find out whether feminist internet meme featuring Ryan Gosling was an effective tool for influencing feminists' attitudes and beliefs garnered at the University of Saskatchewan. And this got attention around the world. Another one that I want to draw attention to is the orchestra that is right here in front of you. Many of the students are in the College of Arts and Science. Certainly the Wind Orchestra is part of that college, and we are very proud of the U of S Wind Orchestra. And this is under the able leadership of Dr. Darren Orler-King, and they were playing for you prior to this ceremony and will be playing again following my remarks. They have been invited to go to a conference in California this summer. They will be one of 15 in the world that will be attending this conference as an orchestra. And I think we as the University of Saskatchewan should be, and we are, very proud of this wind orchestra, and we say a thank you very much. You may have noticed in your program that the music that they will be playing was composed by Dr. David Kaplan, a friend of mine and certainly a friend of the University of Saskatchewan, and he passed away a few months ago. And I think this is a fitting tribute, and a few words about David Kaplan will be given to you in just a few moments. Something else that I want to talk about in terms of accomplishments at the University of Saskatchewan. Bioarchaeologist Angela Levers made a significant discovery when she and her research team found one of the earliest cases of cancer in the world in the remains of a Siberian man. Those of you receiving certificates from the Center for Continuing and Distance Education epitomize lifelong learning and the power of language. You are also part of this university's proud heritage of bringing its resources to rural and urban communities. And I am so proud about how the university has been taking the campus learning to other communities, Isle Cross, La Ronge, Yorkton, Regina, and all sorts of other centers across this province. And this is distance education. It's taking education to where the students are. And we are meeting a tremendous need in this province, and I'm very proud of that as well. Our students in the School of Public Health have worked so hard in this past year to make contributions in the school. Madhura Mehra Singh exemplifies this dedication as she received the Professional Excellence Award at the Graduate Students Association Awards Gala for her excellent academic achievement and her outstanding non-academic contributions to this school. So these are just a few examples of successes that have been achieved over this last year by these three schools and college. You can be proud of your degree. You are part of a long history, 108 years at this University of Saskatchewan. And even though your experiences in each college or school might be different, you share a lot in common. And that thing that you share in common is that you will be continually learning, you will be continuing to explore new ideas, and you will discover that you have capacity, talent that you didn't realize you had. And was said earlier, you don't know quite where your career is going to go, but take advantage of each opportunity that comes along. I'm on my 8th career. My resume looks like I can't hold a job. And I've never ended up where I thought I was going to go. But it's my pleasure to be here in front of you today as the interim president. So wherever education leads you, you will look back, I hope, at the University of Saskatchewan as some of the happiest, memorable experiences of your life. I hope that you have felt inspired. I hope that you will find your passion and that you can follow that to do what you're really interested in. Please remember the people who were with you, your peers, your friends, your family, the professors, the mentors, and say thank you to them. Thank them for all of the help that they've given you, the guidance over the years. And now I want to look beyond the graduates to the family and friends who are here in the audience. And we say to you, thank you very much for coming. You honor us by your presence today and to celebrate with us. We appreciate your support for the university and the support for our students. I now want to ask the graduates if you would rise and face the other way, please, just for a moment, because I want this to be an opportunity for you to express your appreciation to the family and friends who are behind you. We say thank you for your love, for your support, and for the tuition fees. Thank you very much. Turn and face the stage again, please, and be seated. These are called graduation exercises for a reason. There was your exercise. Thank you very much for coming today. Congratulations to all of the graduates. We wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the ceremony. Thank you very much.
Today's musical interlude by the U of S Wind Orchestra is a piece composed by Professor Emeritus Dr. David Kaplan. Dr. Kaplan passed away this year on April 6th at the age of 91. He was a pillar of the Saskatoon cultural community and was the driving force behind the music program and the band program at the University of Saskatchewan, as well as a longtime conductor of the Saskatoon Symphony Orchestra. He was a member of the Order of Canada and most recently received the Cornerstone of the Community Award at the 2014 Mayor's Cultural Gala. The Department of Music is honored to have substantial scholarships awarded every year in his name and is proud to house the Kaplan Collection, which contains over 350 unique musical instruments from around the world. The ensemble would like to dedicate Coben Crescent March to his memory and legacy within our community. Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the University Senate and Board, I present to you the petition of the Council of this university that the candidates to be named, having fulfilled all the requirements of the bylaws, may, with your permission, be admitted to the degrees and certificates to which they are entitled.
Secretary, by virtue of the authority invested in me by the legislature of this province, and with consent of the council of this university, I consent to admit you to the degrees and certificates to which you are entitled, and to vest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Would the graduands in the front row please rise and come to the platform? Graduands, as you make your way forward, I'll just let you know how the conferring of degrees will unfold. As you enter the stage, please stop and face the audience, as the hood will be put over your shoulders. Once you've been hooded, proceed to the first podium, where the orator will present each of you by name. Once your name has been announced, proceed to shake the Chancellor's hand, and the Chancellor then tells you that you have been admitted to the Convocation of the University of Saskatchewan. You will then continue across the platform to be greeted by the President and your Dean or Associate Dean of the College, and to receive your parchment from them. As you go down the steps, you will be welcomed as new members of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association by a representative of the association.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the Center for Continuing and Distance Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the certificate in teaching English as a second language. I present to you Rhonda Darlene Berezowski. Navdeep Kaur Dillon. Travis Allen Meyer Hominick. Sharon Margaret Johnson. Barbara Lynn Sharp. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Certificate in Teaching English as a Second Language. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the Center for Continuing and Distance Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the Certificate in Adult and Continuing Education. I present to you Scott Cameron Nolan. Marcia Agnes Stahauer. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Certificate in Adult and Continuing Education. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the Center for Continuing and Distance Education, I present to you this scholar and ask that you will confer upon her the Certificate in English for Academic Purposes. I present to you Sandra Milena Betancourt-Vesca. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of the Certificate in English for Academic Purposes. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you this scholar and ask that you will confer on her the Certificate in Global Studies. I present to you Kirsten Danielle Fuglerud. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of the Certificate in Global Studies. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Arts, 3-year. I present to you Brett Joseph Arnott. Jessica Lane Bergen. Karen Victoria Biddulph. Tamara Dawn Calver. Maria Romana Cerda. Brooke Lillian Jean Chabot. Sarah Ann Victoria Drimmy. Max Thompson Fine-Day. Michelle Lynn Fleming. Danielle Emily Gadet with distinction. Tanya Cecile Gurdon. Krista May Hernandez. Catherine Guanzon Ho. Andrea Karen Holmes with distinction. Mary E. Igpe. Brianna Mackenzie Jansen with distinction. Michelle Amelia Joa. Natasha Elizabeth Kostanek. Jordan Catherine Madison Kucharski. Geraldine Amanda Leptich. Jana Lauren McGonigal. Nolan David Moore. Leslie Michelle Monroe. Jacqueline Marie Naden. Bradford Leland Peterson. Teague Hamilton Pushor with great distinction. Brianne Kristen Reed. Elena Catherine Rennie. Joshua Kenneth Rostick. Lindsay St. Ange. Amber Alicia Stephen. Justin Struby. Catherine Lee Stewart with distinction. Ashley Michelle Taylor. Karis Joyce Thompson. Thomas, I beg your pardon. Danielle Renee Yazdebski with distinction. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts 3-year.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Arts 4 years. I present to you Fatma Muhammad Adar. Catherine Deborah Anderson. Beanish Arif. Keegan Barker. Peter Anthony Bug. Jamie Lynette Bishop. Courtney Joel Rachel Black. Alyssa Bouvier. Michael James Bretzer. Melissa Gail Britkoff. Chelsea Broback. Robert Edward Brandon Brown with distinction. Brandon David Kane with distinction. Amber Gwendolyn Carswell. Shandy Ray Chapman. Ki Chen with great distinction. Jessica Marie Crow. Sarah Patricia Davies with distinction. Kyle Marie Duke. Heather C. Epp with distinction. Jennifer Rebecca Mary Rose Faubert with great distinction. Carly Elizabeth Louise with distinction. Monica Blair Gordon with distinction. Christina Lynn Hempler with distinction. Megan Kimberly Luca. Braden Husek. Jessica Hull, J.C. Hull. Alison Chandra Johnson. Vanessa Gale Johnson. Dora Kabura Kamul. Kyle Stewart Lingill. Hussein Chen Lu. Jenna Lee Mann. Christy Lee Markowski. Jana Viola Kathleen McCarston with distinction. Carson Christina Amberly Mercedes. Ruth Estefania Meza Alfaro. Kara Leanne Minnelly with great distinction. Shafi Bashir Muhammad. Paige Morrison. Verity Kathleen Moore Wright. Naomi Muskego. Alicia Dawn Neal, Jessica Lynn Orr with distinction. Amber Dawn Pazuik with distinction. David Anthony Petrician with distinction. Sandy D. Petura, Darren Lawrence Qualman with great distinction. Alexander P. Kwan, Rennie Tara Ryan, Robin Seilstedt, Avaneet Kaur Sidhu, Elizabeth Diane Silk with distinction. Anastasia Katrina Vesselinvena, Jordan Christopher J. Wendzina, Sarah Alexandra Winkrek with distinction. Leanne Mabelwood. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts 4-year. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Arts honors. I present to you Katyani Agarwal with high honors. Michael Albert. Lauren Samantha Allen with high honors. James Philip Anton with high honors. Leandro Salvacion Apostle with high honors. Nicole Marie Atkins. Simon Begout. Peter James Tillon Bruce with high honors. Jessica Lynn Couture with high honors. Ashley Elizabeth Cummer with high honors. Samuel David Dirksen with high honors. Marley Joan Duckett. Krista Marie Duig with high honors. Fiona Elizabeth Fick with high honors. Marnie Louise Annette Howlett with high honors. Kristen Leah Hubbard with high honors. Berlin Haley Jansen with high honors. Sarah Opal Marie Keller with high honors. Mark James Kiss with high honors. Paige Brianne Lamborn with high honors. Michael James Christopher Lyons with high honors. Asha Blue Marchand with high honors. Shell Millen Matthews Hunter with high honors. Kayla Sienna McCutcheon with high honors. Logan Shea McManus. Nian Nan Mea. John Attain Myberg with high honors. Tanya Katrina Napper. Ian Randall Newman with high honors. Shelley Lynn Nobert. Margaret Jean Orr. Victoria Rose Oster. Rhonda Lee Barton with high honors. Bethany Gwen Penn with high honors. Crystal Dawn Raven. Dylan Ty Robertson with high honors. Malin Tuomi Rosen with high honors. Ryan Derek Schmidt. Samuel Peter Schultz. Marianne Elizabeth Scott with high honors. Connor Douglas Simpson. Eric Richard Stolwick. Desiree Karen Steele with high honors. Eric Andrew Story with high honors. Jean Patricia Taylor. Bethany Thiessen with high honors. Lacey Joyce Thiessen with high honors. Sarah Aurelia Thomas with high honors. Erica Catherine Thompson with high honors. Courtney Elizabeth Tuck with high honors. Jory Vermet. Brian Vinette. Christine Elise Warner. Jessica Elaine Westad. Kelsey Ryan Wilford. Monique Cecile Wooteny. Jill Lauren Lee Yankee with high honors. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelors of Arts honors.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science, 3-year. I present to you Jonathan Sidney Bird. Tanner Nicolette Bodnaric. Miguel Angelo Domingo de Cepeda. Spencer Andrusek. Carly Nell Sinden. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science, 3-year. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science, 4-year. I present to you Eugene Akunor. Michael Marion Bazawi. Cheryl Love Magaway Komahik. Conrad John Kulas. Mitchell Arthur Craig. Jason Alexander Dahl. Joseph Paul Deason. Roman Joseph Robert Dequier. Levi James Dirksen. Andrea Kathleen Edwards. Juan Gao. Kevin Matthew James Hattie. Landon Peter Retsina. Ognan Ivkovic. Wade Blair Jensen. Mark Ernest Lipitsky. Michael Jason Long, with great distinction. Arthur Carlisle Laux. Kirk McCullough, with distinction. Shay Stephen Myers. Dylan Cecil Robert Milne. Quinn J. Newmiller. Akashdeep Singh Panu. Emmanuel Echo Quagrain. Orion Paul Raycraft. Jordy Richardson. Syed Hassan Abbas Rizvi. Jesse Lawrence A. Rollheiser. Grace Huang Sove, with great distinction. Braden Parker Schmidt, with distinction. Shelby Ray Sieben Chubak. Alicia Danielle Spencer. Kevin Mitchell Squires. Rachel Marie Stoneham, with distinction. Jonas John Tarnowetsky. Tybee Lee Vickers, with distinction. Catherine Sarah Wall. King Young Yip. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science 4-year. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours. I present to you Daniel Joseph April. Tololima Stanley Avaa with high honors. Tanner Alexander Bone with high honors. Jasmine Kaur Boparai. Darius Morgan Clinton with high honors. Brianna Kayla Marie Eisner. Alexa Helen Lorraine Elliott with high honors. Kyle Mitchell Francision. Chad Mitchell Hansen with high honors. Jenna Marie Hartley. Tara Lynn Angela Lakach. Tessa Jade McKibben with high honors. Matthew Knudsen Miller with high honors. Milan Alyssa Lee Mitchell with high honors. Eric Eldon Mueller. Ajay Mikhail Pokraka with high honors. Jared William John Pritchard with high honors. Mark Byra Reimer with high honors. Amanda Megan Risling. Chanel Young. Chengshu Yu. Omar Kisro Zarifa with high honors. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science honors. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts. I present to you Jenna Berenbaum with great distinction. Jillian Vivian Borrowman with great distinction. Chris George Fisher with distinction. Shelby Nicole Leachman with great distinction. Kellyanne McTaggart, with great distinction. Philip Mark Munson, with great distinction. Elizabeth Rose Nepyuk, with great distinction. Cara Colleen Richardson. Erin Meredith Sidlowski, with great distinction. Emma Frances Thorpe, with great distinction. Kelsey Joan Treen, with great distinction. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Music Honors. I present to you William Eric Buse, with high honors. Emily Ann Cole, with high honors. Tricia Ann Florence, with high honors. Kyle Evan Murfield, with high honors. Matthew Thomas Olson, with high honors. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Music Honors.
So good morning. It's my privilege as Dean of the College of Arts and Science to be able to tell you about a remarkable young man, B.J. Bodner, who's being awarded the 3-year BA posthumously today. His parents, Betty Ann and Ken Bodner, are here to receive the degree on his behalf. B.J. Bodner was a very talented student who possessed incredible skills in communication and forming relationships. Along with being one of Canada's top 20 under 20 for Youth in Motion, he received the National Environmental Leadership Award presented to him by David Suzuki. He also received honorable mention for the National Terry Fox Foundation Humanitarian Award. He was a torchbearer in the last Olympics, and he traveled to research climate change and other related global issues, both in the Arctic and in the Antarctic. He was on the Arctic Circle on all continents and was a Canadian delegate to 2 United Nations World Forums. BJ served on the Provincial Youth Advisory Council to Cabinet and was a caring, compassionate person sought by others for friendship, guidance, advice, support, and love. He was working on a documentary about climate change. BJ had 80 acres of land at Emma Lake that his family is developing in keeping with his values and beliefs that one needs to be in touch with the universe. The Bodner family will also be sponsoring a University of Saskatchewan scholarship in BJ's name. BJ loved sports, and he possessed great determination in his academic studies and volunteer work. He chose to study at the U of S in the province he so loved, and he felt his work was making a great impact. We are deeply honored to be able to recognize BJ Bodner and his 3-year BA at this convocation, and equally honored that he was a student in arts and science at the University of Saskatchewan.
Katrina Steplewski. Katrina should be here accepting a Bachelor of Science 4-year degree. Katrina was born in the city of Gdansk, Poland, on the 17th of December 1987. Although Katrina's life was short, it was an incredible journey. She spent the majority of her life traveling throughout continents and countries. She lived among many diverse cultures that she loved and respected like her own. Kat was an intelligent and witty person. She has touched many lives with her sparkling personality. She was a loving daughter and a good friend. She had a wide spectrum of interests, spoke fluently in 5 languages, and she had a deep interest in English and anthropological studies. She was also a very talented writer. Most of all, however, Kat was passionate about her study of toxicology and always spoke very highly of her university, her teachers, and colleagues. In 2011, after meeting her fiancé, John Mapes, Kat decided to make Saskatoon her home. In 2013, she was diagnosed with cancer, and although she fought with all her might and determination to battle it, she lost her struggle 1 year later. She was very proud to be a student of the University of Saskatchewan and to be a part of its academic community.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Arts. I present to you Frederica Gianelli. William Edward Robbins. Claire Marie Thompson. Please join in me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Arts. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you this scholar from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Fine Arts. I present to you Caitlin Lee Frolick. Chiaka McNaughton. Pamela Christine Ollenberger. Maya Christine Stark. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Fine Arts. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you this scholar and ask that you will confer on him the degree of Master of Northern Governance and Development. I present to you Jonathan Ross Stewart. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of the degree of Master of Northern Governance and Development. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Dylan Lee Knowles. Matthew Nicholas Cozen. Muhammad Shogat Ibni Mahmud. John Ross McLeod. Faham Nagini. Shi Kyu. Wojciech Hubert Quaibil. Muhammad Masadur Rahman. Mike Stanley Shanan. Bartlett James Alfred Taylor. Shamima Yasmin. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Science. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the School of Public Health and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Public Health. I present to you Najwa Afiba Abdul. Tomelolo Olabusola Adisa. Krisha Bernadine Alphonsus. Amrindabir Singh. William Ian Andrew Bonner. Rupinder Kaur Bra. Hawa Hamidu Bwala. Satya Deva Venkata Krishna Chaitanya Chala. Lalitha Chintha. Jung In Choi. Pamela Lynn DeBrain. Brian, I'm sorry. April K. Dekpo. Gunjita Diwaka. Miranda Lynn Jordock. Craig Antonio Edwards. Adejoke Teresa Fayanju. Emily Jean Folwell. Killian Fu Forbete. Simran Singh Gill. Maya Yakic. Megan Neal Jenkins. Mel. Sakshi Kapoor. Keshini Madara Marasinga. Kaylee Rosemary Matsumoto. Chigoki Kingsley Nwanko. Shinyenyi Nimama Nwoki. Olatunji Sunday Obidia. Udoka Arinchukuwu Okpala Wow. I did practice. Olo Palaweki. Adesola Oyobanji Omisor. Christopher Thomas Plishka. Catherine Michelle Porspeak. Rachit Rawat. Mudassir Ratzi Siddiqui. Aarti Singh. Syed Jamshed Wasi. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Public Health. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present our PhD graduates. The custom at the University of Saskatchewan is for our PhD graduates, once they have been admitted to their degree, to be met by their supervisor and escorted to join the platform party in a symbolic welcome to a global community of scholars. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I present to you Carly Frances Brady. Wayne Everett Clark. Andrew John Dunlop. Robert Donald Henry. Steve Odera Jimbo. Abdallah Hamisi Carioyo. Robert Sean Andrew Nesdall. Juan Nicholas Peña Sanchez. Saeed Sadeh. Amy Sampson. Allison Donna Stevenson. Hesamaden Yunesi Aragi. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Eminent Chancellor, in the name of the faculties, I ask you to grant the degrees and certificates in absentia to those students who have met the requirements to graduate but were not able to be present today.
At the request of the faculties, I authorize these degrees and certificates be granted.
Thank you.
I stole here.
I have the pleasure of presenting the Certessel Distinguished Graduate Award for Spring 2015. And the student we are distinguishing with this award is Sharon Margaret Johnson. Usually called Shaz. Shaz earned the equivalent of a B.Ed degree in South Africa and taught high school mathematics prior to 1990. After emigration to Canada and full-time parenthood, circumstances required a return to paid employment. While taking education courses to qualify for provincial teacher certification, she discovered that teaching the English language to adult immigrants might be a better fit for her now than teaching math to teenagers. She came to me for advising in August 2014, registered for classes within the week, and finished the whole program in just 2 terms, and she did 7 courses instead of the required 6 because she thought the 7th might be useful. And all this time, she maintained exceptional grades. The 6 courses on which this award is based garnered her 93% as an average. She also succeeded well in her practicum despite her long time away from teaching. About her experience in Certesel, Shaz says, "Over the past 8 months, I have observed, volunteered, and taught in classes ranging from foundational literacy all the way up the Canadian language benchmark levels to the academic English program at the University Language Centre. She took every opportunity she possibly could to get a grasp of the whole field. Unfortunately, I seem to love it all. So Shaz's next challenge is deciding which job offer is going to be the right one for her." Shaz?
Well, good morning, and it's my privilege to be able to present 3 of the top awards in the College of Arts and Science to graduates from our college. 2 more will be presented at this afternoon's convocation. And the first is the 2015 Copeland Prize in the Humanities, and the recipient is Samuel David Dirksen. The Copeland Prize in the Humanities is donated by Mrs. Copeland in memory of her husband, the late Thomas Copeland, and is awarded annually at spring convocation to the most distinguished graduate in the humanities. This year's recipient of the Copeland Prize in Humanities is Samuel David Dirksen, who graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts honors degree with high honors in history. During the course of his education, Samuel was very active as a humanities and fine arts representative for the Arts and Science Students' Union, and played on the U of S Huskies men's basketball team. Samuel has received several scholarships and awards, such as the Sask Sport Incorporated University Award, the Centennial Fund Scholarship, and the Kathleen R. Mackenzie Scholarship. And now, as he begins his master's degree program, he will receive the University of Saskatchewan Dean's Scholarship Master's Program and the Joseph Armand Bombardier CGS Master's Scholarship. One of Samuel's instructors remarked that Sam is without a doubt one of the brightest and most hardworking students I have had the pleasure of teaching. He's recognized as a tireless researcher and a gifted writer, showing remarkable depth in his work. The instructor further remarked that Samuel's academic acumen is surpassed only by his kindness and humility. Samuel has worked over the last few years as a student ambassador for the U of S Recruitment and Admissions Office, as a digitization specialist with Saskatchewan History Online, as a project leader with the Patent Photograph Collection, and a research assistant in the History Department. Prior to his studies at the U of S, Samuel was an official and supervisor with the Minor Basketball Association. In his spare time, he has volunteered as an invited speaker and has assisted with organizing events for commemoration of the First World War. His hobbies are playing various sports, traveling, and playing strategic board games. Samuel's future goals include continued study of history and completing a master's program at the University of Saskatchewan and his doctorate in history. Eminent Chancellor, I am pleased to present Samuel David Dirksen as the 2015 Copeland Prize winner in the humanities. The The Copeland Prize in Social Science is donated in memory of the late Thomas Copeland by Mrs. Copeland and is awarded annually at each spring convocation to the most distinguished graduate in the social sciences. And this year's recipient is Mary Ann Elizabeth Scott, who graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts honors degree with high honors in archaeology. Mary Ann completed a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology in '92 and a Master of Education degree majoring in educational psychology in 1996. Her skills and work experiences are impressive, as she is currently a teaching and marking assistant and has been a writer and resource developer and board assistant with the Teaching English as a Subsequent Language, Saskatchewan. Mary Ann has also been a mentorship project coordinator, helping international and trained professionals to enter the Canadian workplace in their areas of expertise. She has been a mentoring coordinator and enhanced language training working group member. One of Mary Ann's professors described her as having a track record with an above 90 average, not only in all of her archaeology courses, but also across her entire program of studies. He considers her to be a very talented student and is trying to attract her to do graduate work with him. She has excellent writing skills and has been employed as a professional editor. Another professor comments that Mary Ann is one of those students that makes it all worthwhile. She is perceptive, insightful, hardworking, independent, inquiring. Mary Ann has volunteered as an events coordinator, treasurer, and board member, and ministry by phone coordinator, and has helped in the peer-assisted learning peer mentor program. She has also volunteered as an excavator and artifact professor. Mary Ann enjoys ballroom and Irish dance, traveling, gardening, reading, geology, genealogical research, and cooking. Her future plans include continuing to study at the University of Saskatchewan, as well as firmly establishing her research plans in pursuing further education in paleopathology. Eminent Chancellor, I am very pleased to present Mary Ann Elizabeth Scott as this year's winner of the Copeland Prize in Social Science. The University of Saskatchewan Film Society Prize is awarded annually at Spring Convocation to the most distinguished graduate in a degree or certificate program in the fine arts, which includes art and art history, music, or drama. And this year's recipient is Shelby Leachman, who graduates today with a Bachelor of Fine Arts with great distinction with a major in studio art. Shelby was born and raised in Saskatoon and was part of the first graduating class to complete her grade 12 diploma from Centennial College in 2009. She started her Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in 2010. Since beginning her university degree, Shelby has received the University of Saskatchewan Undergraduate Scholarship, the Athletes and Arts Scholarship, the Elizabeth Evelyn Sholey Memorial Scholarship in 2014 and 2015, and the Michael S. Masanchuk Travel Award. Shelby started her work experiences as a pool attendant and currently works as a lifeguard and swimming instructor with the City of Saskatoon, as well as a studio assistant at the University of Saskatchewan. In addition to her exceptional academic achievements, Shelby is described by one of her professors as intelligent, skillful, observant, organized, a self-starter, innovative, creative, compassionate, and self-aware. Since her first year in the Department of Art and Art History, Shelby has demonstrated a strong commitment to learning and to her artistic development through dedication and determination. She is a unique student with a rare gift for a variety of media. Her work not only demonstrates expressive thinking, but is exceptionally technical as well. Her professors continue to remark that Shelby's capacity to render highly figurative and complex imagery using abstract methods sets her apart from other students. She is thoughtful about the meaning of her imagery. As a volunteer, Shelby was able to become a member of the Visual Arts Student Union for 3 years, and during her second year, she served as treasurer. Her hobbies outside of work and school include participating on a women's soccer team, camping, music festivals, reading, and traveling throughout Europe and Asia. Shelby's future plans are to continue working part-time while developing a career as an artist and traveling. She will begin an artist residency with a local architect company and then hopes to further explore painting practices while competing across Canada and overseas. Shelby has been nominated as one of 3 graduate students to submit work for the BMO Financial Group's first Art Invitational Student Art Competition. And next month, the Michael S. Masanchuk Travel Award Fund will allow her to travel to Montreal, Toronto, and New York. Eminent Chancellor, I am pleased to present Shelby Leachman as this year's winner of the University of Saskatchewan Film Society Prize for the most distinguished graduate in the fine arts.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of St. Thomas More College, the Catholic Liberal Arts College federated with the University of Saskatchewan, it's my privilege to present the following 3 Convocation Awards. The Thomas Dice 38 Prize in Scholastic Philosophy in honor of Dr. Basil Markle is awarded to a graduating student of St. Thomas More College majoring in philosophy with the highest cumulative average. Today's award is presented to Danielle Yuzdebski. Danielle graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts 3-year degree in philosophy with distinction. As a student of philosophy, Danielle became known for her ability to make insightful contributions to discussions of the most controversial moral issues of the day, and to do so with calmness and clarity. One of her instructors observed that Danielle has a rare confidence in presenting the reasoning behind her views. Another instructor recalled that Danielle was a joy to work with. She was not afraid to take on controversial topics and to see an argument through to the end. Danielle has a passionate interest in the social issues that provide the context for legal debates in Canada, and her long-term goal is to pursue a career in law. Her reasoning and debating skills will serve her well as she engages further with the social and legal issues shaping Canadian society today. Eminent Chancellor, I am pleased to present the Thomas Dice 38 Prize in Scholastic Philosophy to Danielle Yuzdebski. I think we'll just take a picture. The Thomas Dice 38 World War II Memorial Prize is awarded to a St. Thomas More College student or Newman Center member who has demonstrated all-round excellence or leadership and who has notably enriched the life of STM or the Newman Center. Today's award is presented to Desiree Steele. Desiree graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts 4-year degree in Political Studies with high honors and a minor in Critical Perspectives on Social Justice and the Common Good. Desiree entered St. Thomas More College as a Dubé Scholar and was an active member of the Service and Justice Project, working in local community placements such as the Saskatoon Crisis Nursery, St. Maria Goretti Community School, and the Regional Psychiatric Center chaplaincy. She engaged these experiences with a spirit of inquiry, discovery, and compassion. In addition to her local volunteer work, Desiree spent a summer in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, living with a large community, which is a group home for people living with developmental challenges. Desiree served on the executive of the STM Student Union, and in her role as student president, she became a member of the college's Board of Governors. This year, she served as VP Academic for the USSU. Desiree has been an asset to STM's Engaged Learning program and to student leadership groups across campus. She has been an excellent role model both as a student leader and as a volunteer. After graduation, she will enter the College of Law at the U of S this fall. Eminent Chancellor, I am pleased to present the Thomas Dice 38 World War II Memorial Prize to Desiree Steele. The Father Henry Carr Award is presented to an STM student who has shown leadership in and contributed to the life of the college in an exceptional way. Today's award is presented to Keith Garrett Bird in absentia. Garrett graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts 4-year degree in drama and a Bachelor of Arts 4-year degree in archaeology. Garrett spent much of his academic career involved in the life of St. Thomas More College. Initially involved with planning Newman coffee houses at STM, Garrett entered student government in 2013, becoming the Newman Council president that year. He has a passion for outreach and social justice, participating in Newman's annual peanut butter drive for the Friendship Inn and in the annual Newman retreats at St. Peter's Abbey in Munster. One year, Garrett organized tobogganing and fireworks for everyone's fun and entertainment. Garrett was recognized at the Indigenous Students' Council Awards ceremony in 2014 for his commitment to community building as Newman president. After graduation, Garrett plans to stay in Saskatchewan and continue in the field of North American Plains archaeology. Eminent Chancellor, I am pleased to present the Father Henry Carr Award to Keith Garrett Bird in absentia.
Eminent Chancellor, platform guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the Governor General's Gold Medalist, recipient of a medal that is presented on behalf of the Governor General to the graduate student with the highest grade point average. Brett Trost is this ceremony's recipient. Here he is. Brett was born and raised in Saskatoon, but he's no stranger to this medal because he received the Governor General's Bronze Medal for academic excellence in high school at Marion Graham Collegiate. He went on to complete a Bachelor of Science in Bioinformatics and then his Master of Science in Computer Science at the University of Saskatchewan. Under the supervision of Dr. Anthony Kuselik, Brett was awarded the Harry Toop Memorial Prize in Science Writing and a Masters of Science Thesis Award. Also under supervision of Dr. Kuselik, Brett moved on to his PhD studies involving the development of computational methods of designing and analyzing data from genome microarrays, a technology used to study plant and animal cells, how plant and animal cells communicate. And you would think that I know what all of that means, but I think it's really important. These methods have played a critical role in the application of genome microarrays to the study of numerous diseases, including Ebola infection, breast cancer, and cystic fibrosis, as well as to several problems of agricultural significance, including colonial collapse disorder in honeybees and bacterial infections in cattle. His PhD caps an outstanding academic career at the University of Saskatchewan, during which he received more than 24 scholarships, prizes, and awards, including the prestigious Vanier Canada Graduate Scholarship. And he also found time to co-author more than 25 peer-reviewed publications. Luckily, Brett hasn't moved too far from the U of S, as he's now a research associate at the University of Saskatchewan and also at the Vaccine Infectious Diseases Organization. In his own words, Brett said, and I quote, "I would like to thank for all their love and support my wife Chantel, as well as her family, my father Randy, my mother Ruth, and my sister Kelly. I would also like to thank my supervisor, Dr. Tony Kuselik, for his exceptional mentorship and also his friendship." End of the quotation. It is my great pleasure to introduce Brett Trost and to present him with the Governor General's Gold Medal.
Good morning, everyone. Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, platform participants, graduates, and guests. My name is Peter Stroh, and I'm a proud U of S alumnus, earning my science degree in 1971 and education degrees in 1975, 1979, and 1985. As past president of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association, it is my distinct pleasure to congratulate you, the class of 2015, and welcome each of you as our association's newest members. You made it. Your years of hard work have paid off. I know you feel like your work is done and you can breathe a sigh of relief. And indeed you should. Take a moment to soak it all in, celebrate this moment, celebrate this day. Although it feels like today is an end to your time as a member of the U of S community, it is really a new beginning. You will always be a member of the U of S and of the Alumni Association. You are students on campus for a relatively short time and alumni for a lifetime. Today, you joined our alumni family, 143,000 strong and growing. You follow in the footsteps of accomplished U of S and arts and science alumni like the Honorable John G. Diefenbaker, Canadian Prime Minister and father of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Henry Talby, recipient of the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. Nan Mackay, the first Métis and first Aboriginal woman to graduate from the U of S 100 years ago this year. The late Honorable Sylvia Fedoric, pioneer of cobalt-60 radiation treatment for cancer. Guy Vanderhaeg, winner of 2 Governor General Awards for writing. Darwin Peachy, an executive in Pixar, who won an Oscar for his role in developing the technology that makes such wonderful animation possible. Gordon Thiessen, former Governor of the Bank of Canada. Stage, screen, and TV actor Kim Coates, may be better known to you as Tig from Sons of Anarchy. Evan Curry, frontman for the Sheepdogs, who appeared in the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. I could go on and naming our alumni who are leaders in business, public policy, public service, health, crop and animal science, the arts, sports, and athletics, virtually every field and profession imaginable. But you will not only follow in the footsteps of these distinguished men and women, you will blaze a new path. Take a look around you and remember the faces you see here today. Who do you see? The faculty who have inspired and led you, classmates and colleagues. Remember their faces and names, those you have heard today and seen in the program. Yours are the names of accomplished alumni that will be read from a stage like this one to future generations. You, the generation that is experiencing change at an unprecedented and ever-accelerating rate, will take all you have learned, your knowledge, your experiences, your relationships, to take on challenges you can't even yet imagine, to help build vibrant communities. Because of your time at the U of S, you have all the tools, the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities to think critically, solve problems, create solutions, and discover the unknown. Take one more look around you and thumb through the program and look at some of the names, so that when you hear of their accomplishments of your fellow alumni, you can say, hey, I know her. She's one of us. She's a U of S alumna. And you will serve as inspiration for each other to step into the spotlight and boldly share your own achievements as University of Saskatchewan alumni. Congratulations to each and every one of our graduates, and welcome. Welcome to the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association. Have a great afternoon.
Good morning, everybody, graduates. My name is Blaine Favel, and I'm the 14th Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan, and it's my great pleasure to bring our ceremony this morning to an end. Before I do so, I'd like to acknowledge our platform guests. Welcome again to Minister Moe for joining us today. Dr. Chatzis, well-deserved, congratulations. And to all the dignitaries that are on stage, the advisors, the academics, the leaders of administration. It's an interesting day. I have an interesting vantage point as Chancellor as the ceremony goes on, because I see different human emotions crossing people's face. I see gratitude, I see pride, I see all sorts of a wonderful range of emotions as diverse as the young people that are crossing the stage. And I'm always impressed by the bravery that some of them come across, and I'm always surprised by how they handle their fear. And I'm talking about those young ladies with the high-heeled shoes that I see the orchestra pit. I'm always concerned for them that somebody's going to fall in there someday. But they do well. I'd also like to acknowledge our good friend here on the Board of Governors, Max Findy, is graduating today as well. Let's give him a round of applause. He's a For those that are familiar with Max, he served as the USSU president for 2 years running. And I remember, I don't think he'll mind me, no, he's shaking his head, but that means I'm going to say it then. I won't actually, Max, I'll be kind. But U of S is really, it's a wonderful organization, it's a wonderful institution. I'm very proud for the association with it, because it's truly world-class. This institution has produced world-class scholars, athletes, academics, business people, leaders in government, and none of which are as noteworthy today in terms of how I feel about him today is the seventh chancellor of this university, John Diefenbaker, who served with distinction as our prime minister and as chancellor. And in 1960, he introduced the Canadian Bill of Rights, not the Charter of Rights, it was the Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights was important for this country, and it was important for this province and for this institution, because it introduced this concept of equality, that there should be no inequality, and that people should not be discriminated against based on race, on their creed, their religion, anything that diminished their humanity, that people were all equal and deserved fairness and equal treatment. And that is the greatest testament. And it's noteworthy today, and it's funny how the world works, and whether it's coincidence or whether it's planned, if there's a higher plan here, but we're honoring today an Aboriginal woman who acknowledges the challenge that she faced dealing with these issues as a young person with racism and discrimination, and that honoring her today is a sign of maturity for this institution. But the coincidence is not that we're honoring her because she's worthy of honor on any day, but it's the day that we're honoring her is the day that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Ottawa is issuing their report on residential schools. And as our Chief Justice said last week, probably one of the most shameful chapter in the history of this country, where young people were taken from their families, and were treated very badly. And my mother is here, actually. And my mom, sorry for this, I didn't expect this. My mother is here, she's 88 years old, and she didn't leave residential school from the age of 12 to 15. She didn't go home for Christmas, and she didn't go home for summer holidays. And so it's astonishing that we have Aboriginal graduates here today, and it's astonishing that we have Aboriginal leaders, because the road has been pretty tough for some of these people, some of my brothers and sisters. And I say special congratulations to all of them today, and congratulate their success. And I congratulate, at the same time, this graduating class, because it's important that we don't live in the past, but the past should inform us. and that I encourage all of you to fulfill the legacy and the values and the vision statement for this country and this province and this institution that Mr. Diefenbaker had, is that we be a people of compassion, and we be a people of fairness, and we be a people of inclusion. And if you can do those things as you go forward into your political and your professional and your business careers, as parents, as children, as people who can influence society, then we're very well served by you joining the Alumni Association and having a relationship with the University of Saskatchewan. I'd like to, before I close, also just make reference to the drum group that we had earlier, which is a sign of reconciliation that this institution has done, where they've incorporated some Aboriginal traditions. And for those of you graduates who may never ever hear that drumming again, the honor song is very much a song of the community that's given to you. It's a song of love, it's a song of honor, where we honor your accomplishments. Your family honors you, your loved ones honor you, and we honor you as an institution. And that when you hear that song, remember this day, I'm sure you will, and remember the values which really underpin this institution, which is the values of tolerance and of working together. It's the Saskatchewan way and it's the Canadian way. And it's a part of the family that you are part of now. And remember the University of Saskatchewan. The University of Saskatchewan is more than the buildings, it's more than the bowl, it's more than the professors who have influenced your life. It's very much the values that will shape you. So stay connected with our institution. There's after this week, there'll be 145,000 alumni that are around the world, and you're part of us. So stay connected to our school and our family. This brings our convocation to a close. I would like to acknowledge a few people before we end. I'd like to acknowledge first, as always, Darren Olderking, who does a wonderful job with the University Orchestra, our signer, Chrissy Haynes, our vocalist, Katia Kartova, our drum group, All Tribe Singers, Leona Tutusis, our elder, University chaplain, Madeline Oliver, and Mieglin Riesling, who was our convocation coordinator, and all the members of her team for making these ceremonies a great success. So congratulations, graduates. This presentation, this ceremony comes to close. I would ask all of you to remain in your seats until the platform party leaves the stage. Thank you. Thank you.